Let's stick with the Jobs and Skills Summit and get the perspective from someone else who wasn't there. We'll speak to someone later in the program who was there, but let's cross to Melbourne now and speak to Bill Lang, who's the Small Business Australia Executive Director. Thanks for talking to us again, Bill. I worry that in a talk fest like this, where there's a lot of big unions, a lot of big business, a lot of big special interest groups, that small business gets walked over. Are you happy with the representation small business got there today?
Oh, absolutely not, Chris. And it's sort of not surprising to some degree. And we reached out to the Minister as well as to the Treasury Department and said, look, we're working closely with 20,000 small business families over the last 2 years. We know exactly what's going on and what the challenges are. And we look at the list of people there, and I don't think anyone's ever had to pay a payroll in their life or take a risk. They're all part of the salaried ruling class living up in the bubble. It's incredibly disappointing. And some of the things they're planning and that they've been leaking, that sounds like they've already agreed, is just going to be a further setback for anyone in small business.
Now, I would have thought that increasing immigration might be something you'd support. That's broadly supported at the summit. Mind you, everyone's been supporting that for months anyway. You didn't need a summit. But they're talking about an increased role for unions. I imagine that would frighten small business. So what would be the key things you would want from government to help enliven small business right now?
Oh, there's a couple of simple things. So we really need a very simple small business award that's very clear, no need for any legalese, so that we simplify the way the current award system works, where even Fair Work Australia can't tell the big companies which award to apply. Secondly, let's get the public servants, particularly in Canberra, in the Department of Immigration, back into their offices and working, because there are tens of thousands of international students where there is accommodation waiting for them that can provide 20 hours of work a week and spend money in the local economies. Let's get them back, particularly into the CBD of Melbourne. Let's get the workers back into particularly the CBDs of Melbourne and Sydney, where they're still largely, especially on Mondays and Fridays, working from home. So there's some very direct things, Chris. And you take this big announcement about the TAFE. Whenever you hear the word free from government, everyone who pays taxes knows there's no such thing. Every study around the world on free education shows that it does not work. Why not give a co-payment to an employer who can then find a training provider to help get the skill development needed to help that employee do a better job? It's just crazy stuff, giving more money for free stuff to TAFEs. There's not a TAFE in the country that makes a profit, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, you're spot on, and that link between work and training is so strong. So you're doing the job and you're getting the training, and it's a bit of a cooperation and incentive to really get going. I just want to hear more, though, on the cities. We know so many small businesses are suffering in all the major cities and other big suburban areas because so many people are working from home. Government could play the leadership role here, and big corporations, by demanding that people come back to work at least for a few days a week. So many people are staying away.
Look, we have a number of large corporate employers that have, empty offices in the city, but they're really not looking to put themselves in front of the government. Now, the state governments are the biggest employers in each capital city around the country. And in the city of Melbourne, and on a per capita basis, there's not a bigger employer in Victoria of office-based public servants than the Victorian government. And we've got like a 38% office occupancy rate here versus 52 in Sydney. Like, when you think about that, we're still like 25% on a relative basis behind where Sydney is in terms of getting people back here into the CBD of Melbourne. It continues to be a crisis here in Melbourne, Chris, and next time you're down, have a walk around and you'll just see more shops that are closed, more people wearing black than normally wear black in Melbourne, even though it's the start of spring. Like, we need leadership from the state government to lead the way.
Yeah, you're spot on. And all that black is because Collingwood are in the finals, I think. Thanks for joining us, Bill. Appreciate your time. Bill Lang there on how we need to enliven our cities. That's going to help everyone, especially small business.